Just when you thought it was safe to go back into your Holy Trinity church, then the poetry comes up and bites you on the bum again. How scary is that? Right, I'm Donald Dempsey of 8,000 Monkeys. Jan is monkey number 1. That is Jan. I am monkey number 1,000 because I barely got in. I had a poem in anthology simply because I slept with the editor for 6 years. I don't know what the other people did. I don't want to know. Right, this is my book called Being Dragged Across the Carpet by the Cat. I won't read that poem. I'll just tell you that my friend died, and before she died she bought a little kitten, and she loved the kitten, and the kitten didn't know that she died, and it was a storm outside, and we had her ashes, and we put her ashes up on the mantelpiece. The cat comes in through a skylight and jumps up on the mantelpiece, knocks my friend onto the ground, scatters all her ashes on the ground, and then jumps on the ground and walks my friend all across the carpet. And then I'm actually sweeping up my friend, something I never thought I'd do. Hence the title, Being Dragged Across the Carpet by the Cat. This is a poem called Me Mam's Mind. I don't know if any of you had an Irish mother. I did. That's why I speak like this. And Irish mothers are kind of sort of like this. If you fall off of that wall and break both your legs, don't come running to me. Could never understand my mum's mind and how it worked. One moment she had half a mind to come up there and get me off that wall. Then she was in two minds about whether to tell me to stop. Go ahead and kill yourself. See if I care. I'm warning you, child. If you fall off that wall and kill yourself, I'll personally come up there and murder you myself, so I will. I used to watch the words climbing out of her mouth and fly around the room looking for a place to land in my mind. Never cared whether she gave out. I just loved everything she said. The music of her and how she made the words behave. I came down and kissed her worry away. I'm sorry, ma'am, I told her, and she cried. Thank you. We've already had one Uncle Michael poem this morning, and you're about to get Uncle Michael poem number 2, the one that isn't in the anthology. This is called Uncle Michael alias God, because I thought he was God. I believed everything the man said. He was as good as God, and he used to tell me a whole lot of shite, really. He used to just make up a whole lot of stupidity. And my aunt used to say, "Stop filling the child's head with nonsense. Can't you see that he believes every word you say?" And of course I did. So this is called Uncle Michael alias God. His hands tobacco stained, twisted and gnarled, knotted like an alive piece of wood, scrawled gestures across my mind as the sick calf bucked in his arms and his quiet strength calmed. "Shh, shh, suck, suck," he crooned, and the sound soothed us, and the veins like vines ran up and down his arms, pumping crude life like a sudden sketch to suggest the gist of, rather than the meaning of things. And he walked, and I ran towards Granny's garden, like God tending Eden, and the gate, a little horse, sighed at his hand, and the leaves murmured like worshippers in a church congregation. And the sunlight genuflected through the trees, and the trees were socks and apples. A tablecloth was laid on a loganberry bush, and the young tree gave herself to him, broke tenderly in his hand, and the knife whistled and whittled, and out of the branch came a man. And he told me, and I believed him, because he was good as God and strong, that the little wooden man, the silent statue, had been waiting all the time already made, waiting to be released from his prison of wood. All things, he whispered, all things are waiting for you to call them to come out, awake them, create them. The rhododendrons were blue with amazement. At this revelation, a dragonfly walked upon the water. A butterfly became infatuated with a flower. Me, I watched as his hands talked, explaining things that could not be said. And he took my little hand in his, and I understood, flowed like a little stream into his big river, felt God close at hand and smiling. Thank you. We went to see Aldous Huxley's grave in Watts Chapel, and Aldous Huxley has always meant a great deal to me. When I was 9 and dyslexic and could not read, anytime I saw an S, I could not see an S. I didn't see the black. I saw the lovely parabola of white space that the black cut out. So it took me ages to read. And at this juncture, my auntie gave me Aldous Huxley's Island to read. I was no more capable of reading. I read it when I was 23, and I got as far as the first 2 chapters, and I broke down and I cried. And any time I tried to read the book after that, I broke down and I cried. And one time I wrote this poem about it. I think it was about 40 years later I finally got around to reading the book in total. So this is called Goodbye to the Circus. Oh, Nelly the elephant packed her trunks and said goodbye to the circus. Off she went with a clumpity clump, 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 clump. The head of the herd was calling far, far away. Auntie Nelly died of drink, loneliness and whatever. Not necessarily in that order. On the farm that was our young days, summer holidays, cast her youth like so much pig slop to the squelching grunt of cow dung days, moo cow lowing years, until the dust collected and settled in the corners no one could reach. Time left her like a holy picture high above the mantelpiece. See the children take the coloured cards in their hands, go play fish in the pool, scream, snap, laugh at who is left to be. Old maid, not me, not me. Time never took her hand like a lover's touch. Time only waited for her. In her loneliness she read and reread and lived on Aldous Huxley's island. She said, this said everything. Years later, when she reads like a fictional character in someone's story, when time no more mattered, I travelled to her island and touched her loneliness, felt her longing. Auntie Nelly died of drink, loneliness and whatever, not necessarily in that order. Said goodbye to the circus, falling far, far. Thank you. Staying with Auntie Nelly, we have sad valentines for breakfast. I don't know how many of you had sad valentines for breakfast this morning. I didn't. Oh my, how Redcock struts, thinks he's a sultan, striding in and out among his harem hens, talking to themselves like some lost senile sentimental souls. Foolish fowl, they lay eggs for gentlemen and kids on long hot summer holidays. They hide their eggs like broken hearts, like old love letter secrets, safe in unseen places. But see Auntie Nelly, willy-nilly as a fox, stalk the chickens and expose them, cruel as the news of the world. See her raid the haystack's back seat of the old car, laying rusty machinery, her apron pregnant and precious with the warm and brown gift of eggs. Red cock crows loud against the morning marigolds, while children's voices babble sleepily into wide wakefulness, love letter secrets staining their lips. Sad valentines for breakfast. And finally, I had the great pleasure of having a heart attack at one stage. I say great pleasure because, as you can see, I'm here and I obviously survived. That is the great pleasure of having a heart attack if it doesn't kill you. This is called Your Littlest Smile. Death, rather diffident, rather shy, comes to me and says, it is time to die. Okay, I say, when? Now, like this moment, this second. I struggle with my heart attack as death, feeling bad about it, repossesses my artifacts. Outside, the van pulls up with neat Gothic script. Death, removals. It spells out in big, bold letters. I like it. It's got style and a nice smile, and is a kind of groovy guy. Or is he? A lady? Boy, it's hard to tell. His heart attack hurts like hell. Okay, boys, take it all away. Death's little helpers, all big bruisers, all over 6'2", former nightclub bouncers. They take away the blue sky under which I had first kissed you. They take away the little day-to-day things I always loved. The shape of your mouth, your continuously falling hair brushed impatiently away from your eyes. your eyes, the smell of your perfume in an empty room, the littlest of your smiles I had saved for a rainy day. Meanwhile, like a living Houdini, I had done it, somehow wrestled out of the heart attack straitjacket. Damn, Death spat in a peevish manner. How in God's name did you do that? Death sighed. Okay, kid, you got me, this time. Right, boys, put it all back, put everything back. These boys scowled at me as if to say, I'll remember you, silly Jim. You, Death snarled from the side of his mouth, annoyed now, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You, I'll see you again. A tear trickled down my cheek, unable to speak. All I could do was glance down, your littlest smile clasped tightly in my hand. Thank you. To get back to the morning, when Scotland hadn't succeeded in succeeding from the rest of us, Jan and I had accomplished this. It's called the pursuit of happiness. We declare this, our bedroom, an independent dominion. We secede from the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth of Nations, although still enjoying our European unions. Go with Jan. Us, a republic of love. We, this nation of two, out on our own, our newfound land, as Don had done. A currency of caresses, our national tongue kisses, needing nothing but the other to complete our independence, flying the flag of happiness in this, our brave new world of love. Thank you. The press conference later. And finally, before we get to the delicious, gorgeous, lovely, sumptuous Eddie Chauncey, it's just one more of me. Isn't that a lot? No, all right, this is called a scale gap. It means in Irish. My wife and I longed to have a baby, and although we had great fun practicing, no baby had as yet materialized. We went for a test after the test, and we weren't getting pregnant. We had one last thing to do, see if the fallopian tube's clear. Probably too much information, Karen? Yes, I know. And this kept getting cancelled for 6 months. It was a year and a half later, and we still hadn't got that last final test to do. And we fell pregnant. You notice I used the royal we there? Yes. We. Did you fall pregnant? I see you have, yes. So, my wife is Finnish. I used to sleep down by her belly and sing little snatches of Irish lullabies and songs to her, stitching the little Irish I knew together in a sort of patchwork quilt of love. So this is how this poem comes about. The first bit is in Irish. Eddie will translate as I go along. Would you, Eddie? Yes? A scéalga in Irish. Dún the Sula, close your eyes. Cuddle the law, my grossi, sleep until day, my gentle love. Cuddle the solve, sleep peacefully. I roll gan galaksha, is rocky gan green free. This moon will rise, this sun will set. Ara is gra goni, care and love always. Gach iha is gach law is gach iha. Every night, every day, every night. My plurin, my storin, my moorin, my little flower, my little treasure, my little darling, Akanish, but now, cuddle the salt, the sea, sleep peacefully, gently, Gafonia and lay, until the break of day, the Misha or the Tay, with me at your side. Losing our baby late into the night, holding this little thing that only attempted to be human. Unable to let go, I clasped the fetus tightly in my hand and buried it in the dawn of our local park under a recently planted head rose bush. In my grief, flower and baby became one, and night after night I climbed over high railings and even higher stars to talk to her in the dark in Irish. Or sing, my love was like a red rose, or cry. Almost got arrested one night by an Irish cop, drawn to the sound of Irish emerging from the darkness. Guess he let me go because it wouldn't look good on a charge sheet. The defendant was talking and crying to a flower in Irish. Éist, éist, listen, listen. Dinna éigean ag cína. Someone is crying in a Doricusson, in his darkness. Phil, Phil Aruno, oh, Phil Aruno is not illegal. Lauren, how cruise the storm, oh, he's chipping to a glow, not into. Thank you.